How'd you like those couple days we stayed in Reykjavik?
You know what? I thought that town was really cool. I thought that there was a lot of neat history there in that town.
Yeah, today's their, what was it? They're on some events going on in Reykjavik. Time to get up and go. Alright, let's do it.
This is a downtown Reykjavik Culture Festival. That's like a big old piece of raw fish, isn't it? Smoked salmon, that's right. Yep, it's smoked salmon. That's good.
Icelandic salmon.
Icelandic salmon. There's a difference.
Get it right.
Get it right, gotta get it right. That's good. That tastes really good. I gotta take another one. They're really big into art, I noticed, you know, and I thought that was pretty cool. They had the art festival going on while we were there.
I don't know about all their artwork though. Those washing machines on Main Street, right in front of the big cathedral.
I told my wife about that. I was like, boy, do I have the art for you, baby.
30, 40 washing machines with the doors open and water pouring out.
The glass busted out of them, and the water was just pouring. That was crazy.
Yeah, the ATV rides, those are fun.
Going the ATVs was a blast. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Those ATVs were pretty peppy too.
They're good. And what I liked about it, it wasn't like something here where, all right, you can only go 20 miles an hour.
Yeah,
within 10 feet, you know.
Wear a helmet and blah blah blah, and
we were out playing. Even one of the guides was on a smaller ATV that
hot rodding around.
Wheelies and
No, that was cool. I like the fact that they said, you know what, I don't care, just have fun, just don't get hurt, you know. So actually go out there and do something, you know, do donuts or whatever we wanted to do. That was a lot of fun.
You know, I had no idea how pretty it was.
Oh, I know.
I'd compare it to a cold Hawaii with more waterfalls.
Yep.
You know,
really, that's about the only thing I can think of to compare it to.
A colder Hawaii, just the green colors, all the waterfalls, and you know, kind of the volcanoes.
And no trees.
And
a cold Hawaii with no trees, but more waterfalls.
More waterfalls.
And less people.
Oh, far less people.
Far less people. We are getting ready to have lunch. We just went to do ATV riding this morning. Had a blast. That was a lot of fun. It was down by the Blue Lagoon. Rode back to Reykjavik for our last meal in Reykjavik before we get on the bikes and head out. The bikes, man, those bikes were tough.
They were great, yeah. I was impressed.
Yeah.
Tell you what though, those little grass huts.
Oh, those were cool. That
neat.
was cool.
Yeah. No, it's amazing how they did survive there. And
did you see how thick those walls were though?
Like
holy cow!
I think the tour guide said they're 4 feet thick, all grass, and then on the inside, they had some wood and and then they'd have a fire right there, and how many people she said they fit in that?
That one, she said there was like 20 some people in there.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And the guys would sleep sitting up?
Yep, sitting up with the sword right next to them.
Oh, forget that.
Can you imagine living like that?
Man, that's rough.
Not, yeah.
And they said the steel was so cheap, or it wasn't a very good quality steel that they had in Iceland.
It would
bend.
It would bend.
She said they would stop during the sword fights and
to
straighten their
it back
swords.
out.
Hey man, time out, man. Straighten my sword.
There's something about there's some ruler or someone that they chopped his head off and took 17 hits.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
And it was like after like 4, the guy turned up and asked him to sharpen the blade or something. It was
finish it already.
Yeah, do something. But 17 hits to chop off a guy's head.
Oh.
Beware in that volcanic sand. People drive through there with their trailers, and then nails drop off because they carry stuff in there. I picked up 2 nails in the middle of nowhere.
Oh no.
Sent me back to Reykjavik for an extra tube because figured if I'm lucky enough to catch 2, who knows how many more I can get.
Yeah, no kidding.
But
all right, that's good to know. I liked the fish, the dried fish. Oh, that was really good.
You're always eating it.
I could not put it down.
We pull the bikes over and you're scrambling
Wham.
through your saddlebags.
Where's my dried
digging
fish?
out the
That's
dried
right.
fish.
It was good. It
Yeah.
really was good. What you making?
I'm making flatbread with smoked salmon, smoked trout. This is
With a big bite out of it.
okay.
That must not be mine, huh?
That's good.
Good, huh? Is that pretty traditional for Iceland?
Yeah, this is very traditional.
Man, that looks good. Man, you got a little spread going on over here. That trout, when he first gave it to me, so I think that was the first time I tasted something that was smoked in sheep.
Organically smoked.
Organically smoked,
That's
yeah.
what we'll call it. It's organically
Yeah.
smoked.
That was the first time I ever tasted an organically smoked trout. It was actually pretty good until he told me what was smoked in. Sheep crap. Like, oh.
Own crap. So they kill it, and then to top it off, they burn it in their own crap.
It was good though. I must say
It
that.
was very that and your chocolate in the saddlebag.
Yeah, I had
The dried
chocolate and
fish and
chocolate and a Coke.
And a Coke.
The man-sized Cokes, you know, the big ones. They had the big Cokes over there. You see this, Mr. Coke? Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. A
USA.
real size one. Not that little 12-ounce sissy stuff.
How many times did you fall, Ron? You hate it when I bring this up because I told your wife, I told my wife, and I know she's been.
You know, I can't remember.
That's probably a good thing.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I can't
Too
remember.
many to remember.
Oh yeah, one thing I forgot. I did fall down twice today. Just so you guys know. I wanted to be the one to tell you that, but obviously somebody beat me to it. But yeah, I did fall down twice today. Once was a big rock, and once was a casualty. I got on the bike and went to lean straight up, and my foot landed on a slant, and my ankle twisted, and crash went off the other side. So it was a little rough, but anyway. Uphill, it's even worse. I noticed this boat here had some history, the one that we're getting ready to get on.
Yeah, well, they all have their histories, and the one you're going on is a former whaling boat, and used to be hunting minke whales in the north of Iceland. And
that was pretty nice of him to come out there onto the dock there and talk to us, being the owner of the whole operation, the whale watching. You know, that was a father-son, grandson operation. You know, that was pretty neat.
Well, yeah, a lot of the fishing boats, they do a lot of whale watching trips. They convert them over to be capable to carry more people.
That was a lot of fun though, chasing the whales around the whole place there.
Well, even seeing the other side of the bay, and I mean, just the mountains and the...
Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun.
They might be coming towards us now. Keep your eyes open.
Smells like a rotten dead animal.
That's what it is. Man, it really does.
Like it smells like roadkill.
Like an elk sitting on the side of the road for 10 days.
Yeah,
but this is 6 months. I thought it was neat how it's shark, but when they catch it, it's poisonous.
Right.
And so they bury it in the ground for, I think, 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
And then they hang it
for another 4 months.
Another 3-4 months.
Yeah.
And it's like a 6-7 month process, and somehow the poison gets taken out of it
in the process. Okay, I'm going to attempt to try some shark, rotten shark, they say, and
this is
see what it tastes like. Mind if I smell?
It's better just to taste it, not to. It tastes better than it smells.
That is the only food ever that I've ever had that smelled completely different than it tasted, and it smelled completely different butchered in the museum than it did hanging out in the shed. You got to try it. I think I'd try it again, actually. Like nothing you've ever had. I can't explain it in the least. It smells like ammonia, and it tastes like a mixture of cheese and a cheesy fish, but it smells like ammonia. I don't know. It's weird. Okay. It's not bad though. It's not bad. It's not as bad as it smells. It smells worse than it tastes.
The biggest piece in there? Yeah, it's chewy. Kind of, cheesy, fishy. That is interesting. I don't know why you would eat it every day. That rotten shark, though. Oh man, good night.
Oh gosh.
No, thank you.
That was rough. You know what though? I did kind of, after we left. I don't know if you remember me talking about it after we left. I thought, I wouldn't mind going back and trying another bite of it.
I can't stomach a lot of food. I mean, I don't know if it's a mental thing and I psych myself out or what, but
you were gagging.
Even before I tried it, yeah. I'll try some stuff, but yeah, I don't know. And
they did have a cool museum though.
Oh yeah, no, the shark heads and just the whole maritime museum, the old, buoys and just a lot of the old vessels and whatnot kind of things.
Yeah, that was cool. Even the pictures, I mean, some of the history there was just amazing.
Yeah, I was surprised they wanted to interview us.
I was too. I mean, we just kind of rolled into town and got the call, and it was a small town, but I thought they would have more to talk about than us.
Þeir John og Ron gistu í gistiheimilinu við Gránafélagsgötu þar sem Sverrir Bergsson ræður ríkjum. Hann heldur út í heimasíðunni gista.is og kom gistiheimilið sér í góðar þarfir fyrir Bandaríkjamennina 2. So what brings you to Iceland?
Look around. It's beautiful here. And we just came and wanted to ride some motorcycles and do a little filming ourselves.
You're not the usual tourists.
No, we're my brother was here in the Air Force for a couple of years, stationed outside of Reykjavik, and so we decided to come over and we got a hold of Riding Iceland and got some motorcycles, and we're going to take the tour via motorcycle. So we're trying to find some of the tougher roads and see what we can find out there, but it's a beautiful country so far.
Á hann 6 börn sjálfur. Og svo þeystu þeir af stað til næsta áfangastaðar, þessir 2 litríkur mótorhjólakappar.
What are some of the things we had reindeer? That was pretty good.
Man, that was really good.
Icelandic reindeer.
Yeah, I think that was one of my favorites.
That was pretty good.
That was at that hotel.
Up in...
What was the name of that town?
Is that the lake? Like Mývatn or...
Yeah.
I don't know.
Those names are so hard. Weren't they?
Yeah, they speak English, but those
Man,
names,
those
of the
names.
cities and whatnot. Unreal.
That was tough.
But it was at the same place where they did the rye bread in the ground, the Thunder Bread.
Thunder bread, yeah. Yeah, that's what the locals called it, Thunder bread.
That's neat that they'd put it in there and it'd take 24 hours to cook, and you said it averages like 100 degrees Celsius?
Yeah.
Something like that? And
Yeah, right there, just running it off the geothermal.
Yep.
And
Yep,
just baked it off of geothermal baked bread. That was pretty cool.
I found it interesting that they had to get the knife wet to cut it, just
Yeah.
because it's so. I mean, it really was just moist and juicy, and
It was.
fresh and still when you.
Oh,
chopped
that
it
was
up
good.
for us, and
That was good.
That was, yeah. You put a little
Man.
butter on there. And,
That was so good.
I-
That was so good.
Oh, you were too
Finally, nothing rotten.
That was much better than the rotten shark.
This was part of the breakfast bar. Everybody here drinks this stuff. So we gotta try it.
You drop it in the milk and then you drink them.
Just get it down there.
What does it taste like?
Fishy milk. Well, at first it tastes like fish oil. And then it tastes like
Fishy milk.
fishy milk.
That was totally weird to see that for breakfast. You know, I was expecting to see some cereal and some pancakes, but I wasn't expecting cod liver oil with shot glasses.
I'll just ate breakfast. Shoes are dry, ready to go. Looks like we're gonna go to the Highlands of Storms. It's gonna be too big on the coast, and it doesn't sound fun to be riding a motorcycle in 100-mile-an-hour winds. So over the Highlands we go.
It's like a desert here, I guess. What
I don't
like
know.
like in the States. What would this compare to?
The desert, yeah. But even the desert has plants and stuff. Where this is just there's nothing.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
that's not
you know,
bad.
just around their around their little rivers there.
Yeah.
But yeah, there really is nothing. I mean, look at that. Just as far as you can see, it's just black sand. That's crazy. I like it. What was the name of that little hut we stayed at, where the bikes blew over? I don't think it had it.
It was in the middle of the glaciers, and there wasn't another building within. I think they said like 100 kilometers.
Yeah,
or
100
something.
kilometers.
So is that
Yeah,
like 60 miles.
yeah.
That's crazy.
Okay, so we've been riding for most of the day. We've seen a lot of stuff, but we came up short, and we ended up having to stay in the middle of the Highlands. We're just south of the central part of the island, and we found a hut. It's kind of weird. It's a traveler's hut, is what they call it, and you pretty much just have a room full of beds that you can rent a bed. So that's what we did. We rented a bed and laid out all our gear, drying up everything, and now we're going to go cook dinner before it gets too dark, and then hit it again in the morning. So we made it about halfway through the Highlands.
Yep.
Is this halfway?
Halfway.
You sure?
Probably. Probably.
How many times you fall today, Ron?
Me? Did you catch it on camera? That's all I gotta ask. Did you catch it on camera?
Thrander did.
I didn't fall. I didn't fall. I forgot to put my kickstand down and drop the bike. Well, I fell too, didn't I? I guess.
Yeah, you were on the ground.
That's just a story. There was no film. There's no evidence. I'll never forget. I was sitting out there between two glaciers, text messaging my wife.
Updating your blog.
Updating my blog. I could update Colorado Ron from right there. It was amazing.
Middle of Iceland, doing some texting, just updating some friends and family.
You were texting in the middle of Iceland?
Got 4 bars. And we were literally in the middle of Iceland between two glaciers, in a hut there's not another building within 150 kilometers, which is about 100 miles, something like that. Yep, just updating the family and friends.
I don't understand why we don't have cell reception like that here in the U.S. I mean, there was not a spot on the island that I didn't have at least 3 bars.
Yeah, anytime.
Yep. Remember when we were in that hut out in the middle of nowhere and Thrander had that PB&J for his first time?
The first PB&J ever.
We just discovered something very unusual. Thrander has never had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, an American icon. So therefore, Thrander will be eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. All right, Thrander, give it a shot. That's all American right there, buddy. No stinky shark here.
Not too bad.
Not too bad. That was funny though. He's like, what was he? What did he say? He's like, it's not bad. That's what he said. Not bad.
At the same time, all their dried fish that they have.
I know. He's giving us rotten shark and dried fish. Yeah, PB&J's not bad.
It's good we didn't have to camp there though.
Oh man!
Put up tents or anything.
I am so glad we decided to just stay inside instead of set up camp.
That wind. Good night.
That was rough. And then with the bikes blowing over in the morning, you couldn't hear anything. The wind was blowing so hard. Couldn't even. I mean, we had to yell at each other just to try and talk. It was crazy.
That's how windy it was last night. Both our bikes fell over on the side of the kickstands. I don't think the windshield's supposed to look like that.
Yeah,
They were saying, what was it, like 80 to 100 mile an hour winds or something like that?
kickstands were down. That's what blew over.
That was the only wind in my
That's
entire
crazy.
life. I'm a big boy. That's the only wind that's ever made me run. You know what I mean? Where it was blowing me into a jog. I could not believe that. I thought, well, that wind's got to blow against the kickstand. It should be fine.
So let's see. On that night, we busted, or the wind.
The wind busted
2 mirrors, a windshield. It blew off my license plate.
That's right. Your license plate was.
And then, yeah, it ripped it off. No, they say the water there's the purest in the world, don't they?
That's what they say. Yeah.
Cleanest.
Yeah. Purest in the world, right off the glaciers like that. So it was good. I'll tell you that. I drank it. I drank it right from the stream. I mean, you couldn't get any more closer. I mean, I put my lips down in the stream. That was good. It was
tainted
good.
it for everyone else.
I ruined it for everybody. Yeah.
That house at the bottom of that waterfall is.
Yeah. Don't drink
they're
it.
all
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah. This is how we bottle water in Iceland. Iceland Spring. Oh. Didn't realize you get sick on water. That was a big chug. Oh, what were those little blackberries? What were those? I ate a ton of those things.
Well, there's like crowberries.
Those crowberries,
and
then the blueberries.
And then blueberries.
Yeah.
Yeah, one was like a little like Gushers fruit snack that just popped in your mouth.
Oh,
it was
yeah.
like a little ball of juice, like a paintball.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
of
just
juice, of
yeah. Those were good.
juice. Yeah, I mean those blueberries are everywhere just because it's so wet. Yeah, I remember sitting down by the river one day and you turn around and they're right there and you just you just start eating them.
Eating blueberries and drinking the water out of the
Yeah.
stream. That was amazing.
Hey guys, welcome to my home. It's always open. What's your step? I know it's small, but it's comfy.
This is pretty cool.
It's got everything.
Crocs are smoking.
Are they really? Oh, they are.
Oh, yeah, you're melting them.
Am I? Oh, man.
No wonder you go through Crocs so quick. Your toes are warm.
Actually, they're not that warm, which is surprising. I figured I'd feel it before they got too smoky.
It is hot.
These things have been all over the world. They've been to Baja, Mexico, Iceland. Let's see, where else? Norway.
That pair?
This pair. These are the ones that I walked into the, that I wore I wore them all the way through Iceland, but I wore them into the, we hiked back into that waterfall that was in the cave.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody else had to take their shoes off. I just strapped them on my Crocs and hiked right up into the...
Yeah, that's a waterfall I'd like to own.
Oh,
right
man,
there.
that was gorgeous.
You have no idea from the road.
No idea. You can't even tell from the road that it's a cool waterfall until you actually had to get down in the creek and hike up the creek up into the cave. That was probably one of the coolest natural features that I saw there.
I think what's funny is that we drove in there to look at the guy's truck and setup that he had.
Yeah.
Because he was from England and he comes over for 3 months.
Right, right.
And take some youth there, but yeah, that's one of his favorite spots. He said that he goes there every year.
Same spot.
They set up camp, and he told us about it. And it was just, yeah. I mean, I've been waterfalls in Venezuela, Hawaii, and I mean that might take the cake. I mean, there's hiking in there
for something that was just natural like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that was probably one of the coolest natural things that I saw there.
Yeah. What was also neat about it was that all the rock was so dark black. I mean, it was, it was volcanic rock that's black.
Right.
And then the green grass all around, and then, the bright blue glacier water.
Oh, man. The colors just...
Yeah. They almost look superimposed, or, they just pop. They're just so bright.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Those colors were amazing.
Those were neat.
Why do you keep coming to Iceland?
It's such a dynamic country. It's changing. I mean, every year I come here, I go to the same places, and they're different. You go to a hot Fraptanuskir, the ice caves there. Each year they're different. So, and there are new hot springs appear, others die out. You go to the glacier down in Thorsmore, Gigjökull, and that has gone back by about 2 kilometers in the last 10 years. It's changing. Right. So every year it's a new country.
KLR 650s, man, I tell you what, they really, really held together fine. I mean, for all the laying down that I did, and then the couple of wipeouts, and the 80-mile-an-hour wind blowing them over, or even that one day we rode all day in that 80 to 100-mile-an-hour winds. I mean, basically got sandblasted the whole day. And
well, even some of the river crossings.
Yeah.
Some got up to 1.5 to 2 feet deep.
Yeah, up to the seat.
Yeah.
No problems.
No, they just went right through it, and
I think they handled it better than I did.
You got the bruises to prove it.
Yeah, I got the bruises.
Oh, it's nice.
Those guys over at Riding Iceland were nice, man. I tell you what, they were probably some of the nicest people that we met right off the bat.
Yeah.
It was just boom.
Great first impression of the country and
yeah.
people, and
yeah,
the bikes worked great, and
he was so cool even after I gave him the call. Your bike's got on the news there. Yeah. Well, I said, I got some good news and I got some bad news. He's like, yeah, there's always bad news.
Always bad news. That's funny.
Well, that's the good news. The bad news? There's always bad news, he says. The bikes have sustained some damage. It's nothing major. Some plastics, yeah. Anyway, so we had 2 mirrors, the windshield, the fairing,
the license plate. And we were only there for 10 days.
10 days.
You had a nice trip.
We did. It was a good time.
Okay, that's
Good to hear.
A few things on the bike.
Oh, no problem. What happened?
We got
That just needs tightening.
this needs tightened.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
This one, the glass broke on this one.
That's okay. Okay.
Um,
No.
This one here.
Oh, that's broken.
Yeah.
Þetta er bara ekki mikið. Þetta er nú bara vel sloppið.
And then
This is the big one.
The plastic.
Okay, the plastic. Okay. So that's not too bad. So, if you like, you could just seat them over.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
How long would it take to pull this windshield off?
Well, I can take it off.
Yeah. And then I got to take that windshield. That was cool.
That was neat. That
was a good
cool of
souvenir,
Riding
yeah.
Iceland to let you keep that.
Yeah.
It was neat watching them at that Fisker place. Watching them, I think it was when they were cutting the cutting up the fish that we were gonna eat. Right
Yeah,
there.
start to finish. We got
Yep.
to see the whole thing. That was amazing.
Yeah.
Put it right on the ice. Put it right into the little fish shop.
Little market on the
Yeah, the little market, and then right into the kitchen, and then right into the
Right on our
right
plate.
into the restaurant and our plate. Bam.
About as fresh as they come.
That's about as fresh as it gets right there.
Goes down to the wharf every morning, picks up the fish, and
Yeah.
comes back, and that was a good place. The weather, that place wasn't too cold. It seemed like it was like the coldest was, no, the warmest is like in the 50s during the day.
Right.
And when it was raining, yeah, it was a little colder along the coast.
Yeah.
And then at night, up in between two glaciers, that was pretty.
That was the cold. Yeah, that was the cold night.
But all those heated jackets, that's definitely a must.
Yeah.
I miss that place though. It'd be fun to go back again.
Oh man, I'd love to go back. Hey man, time out. Oh man, come on. Every time I pee, man, you're a freak. Called the Penis Museum. They had penises from, what was it? Everything, wasn't
Everything. Yep.
it? Yeah, that was. No, I was not interested in going there, but I remember having to hold you back.
The Icelandic
Yeah.
city names.
Yeah,
or
the
whatever.
city names. Oh man, those were tough. They were only like 42 letters long, you know?
With 3 syllables.
Yeah. You know what really made the trip all possible was all the sponsors.
We did
You
get
know,
a lot of help.
Yeah, a lot of help. That was really nice. The Iceland Air, it was the big help. You know,
Mhm.
I mean, between them and Riding Iceland, those are the two that really launched the whole trip.
I remember we flew over Greenland.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that.
No, we got to fly over Greenland and
Yeah.
yeah, no, you could see the mountains and whatnot.
Yeah, you were low enough you could see everything. You know, it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd do. I don't think I'd change anything. No. I think I'd call Riding Iceland. Do it again on the bikes. Yeah.
Definitely the way to see anything new or see a new place.
Yeah.